Well, to quote another iconic character from another beloved Paramount franchise, every time I think I'm out, they pull me right back in. Such is the case with me and my mostly disappointing affair with what has become modern Star Trek. While Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks and Prodigy have a lot to like, they really still don't hold a candle to the legacy shows in their heyday. And for those that have attended our panels or watched our show for any amount of time, I find Star Trek Discovery to be a dark, dystopian, dim-witted mess that's loaded with heavy-handed messaging, unlikable characters, and narratives that, when placed under scrutiny, just don't hold up. And that's putting it nicely as far as I'm concerned. And unfortunately, that's pretty much how I felt about the first two seasons of Picard. After a promising opening episode to both seasons, it quickly descends into uninspired, agenda-driven tripe that I feel quite frankly is beneath the lofty standards that classic Trek once set for itself. And such was my disappointment with Season 3 of Discovery and Season 2 of Picard that I'd pretty much decided to kind of turn my back on the newer iterations of the franchise. I mean, don't get me wrong, they do have their fans, and that is great. I just couldn't count myself among them. I decided I'd just stick to watching what I termed classic Trek. Basically the Roddenberry Berman era shows, and be content to let the newer shows just kind of go on without me. Period. Then, Paramount drops the latest and most likely last trailer for Season 3 of Picard. And damn it, it got me excited. That's right, 918ers. The Paramount pushers have rolled out a dime bag, and now the Geekboy is going to have to take a hit. So let's get a few things off the top first. Now, this trailer is still chock full of things that have become some of the most eye-rolling staples of modern Star Trek. I mean, the overly big sets, a lot of run-jump, pew-pew-pew type action, an apparent sinister villain with, you guessed it, a personal connection to Picard. Oh, and by the way, she has a ship that looks like it was the offspring of a drunken binge night between a shadow vessel and a Vulcan shuttle. And of course, the dark kinetic cinematography that would cause Michael Bay to get sick to his stomach, and a color palette that makes The Expanse look like a Norman Rockwell painting. All that being said, there's still a lot on display in this trailer to pique my interest. First off, there's the fact that the entire Next Generation cast, except for maybe Will Wheaton, is returning for this. Now, he could be in this, but they just haven't shown Will Wheaton yet, so I'm going to assume that he's not. Furthermore, the trailer hints that one of the most underused characters from the Next Generation, Beverly Crusher, appears to be the catalyst for not only this season's story, but also for the crew's reunion. Now again, this is a trailer, so it's hard to nail down any specific context for some of the things that were shown, but it seems that the actors have slipped right back into their roles with ease. Of the returning cast, Jonathan Frakes gets the most screen time in the trailer, along with Jerry Ryan's 7 of 9. By the way, whose inclusion in the Picard series I always found to be a bit non sequitur. Don't get me wrong, I love Jerry Ryan, I love the character of 7 of 9, but she has zero connection with the character of Picard. There is the fact that she's a repatriated Borg, but Picard really didn't have anything to do with that, so, go figure. In any event, she's back this season, as well as Michelle Hurd, who played Rafi in the first two seasons of Picard. They join Admiral Picard as he gets the entire TNG band back together to respond to a threat posed by the previously mentioned mysterious villain played by Amanda Plummer, who, by the way, is the daughter of General Chang actor Christopher Plummer, which I kind of thought was a nice connection. Also rounding out the cast is Ed Spielers, who for the time being remains nameless, but who does make a brief but pivotal appearance in the trailer. The plot, at least what we can discern of it, seems to involve various events from Picard's life that either led to or are the result of things happening in this season's story arc. And there's the implication that the new villain, Vadic, I believe is her name, is striking at Picard vis-a-vis the people in his life, Beverly, Riker, etc. And as such, this necessitates the old crew reuniting for one last ride. Complicating this, and again, this is not spoilery as it's in the trailer, are the return of the Professor Moriarty AI from the episodes Elementary, My Dear Data, and Ship in a Bottle, played by Daniel Davis, who's the actor that originated the role, as well as Brent Spiner making one last Trek appearance, this time as the evil Soong android Lore. Now, normally, I would be skeptical, and probably a bit jaded after watching a trailer like this, especially since the prior two seasons of the show really didn't land with me. However, a couple of things behind the scenes have occurred to give me a little bit of hope. First is the elevation of Terry Matalas to the sole showrunner for this season. Matalas, an intern during the DS9 Voyager era of the Silver Age of Trek, was also the showrunner and one of the creators of the extremely well-regarded 12 Monkeys series, which ran on the Sci-Fi Network from 2013 to 2018. Additionally, Matalas wrote probably the best episode of Season 2, and it's purported that the entirety of Season 3 was his singular vision. He reportedly lobbied hard to get the entire TNG cast back, met with them individually to discuss their thoughts and desires for their characters, and truly intends to give them a proper send-off that I think all Next Gen fans agree was really lacking in Star Trek Nemesis. Matalas' resume and love for the show aside, I'm also encouraged by several industry insiders who've had the chance to pre-screen the show, some of which who have been publicly even more critical of modern Trek than I have. They've been singing the praises of this season, touting it as a true return to form for the franchise. One of them has reportedly watched all 10 episodes 3 times. This, plus the true cinematic scope and look of the show, really has me cautiously optimistic. So yeah, you heard me. I'm going to be watching this on February 16th, on my birthday, when the first episode drops. Much like returning to the arms of a woman who's broken my heart numerous times that I can't get over. Wanting, hoping, praying that it will be different this time. This time, she really has changed. This time, it's going to work. Will it? Well, we'll know on February 16th. Until next time, this is the Geekboy, signing off. Peace.